YouTube? Fuck you. See, you can't. Are you gonna be okay with this?
What up, YouTube?
Hey, you fucks. What's going on? Is that better?
See, now we should probably start the show. See, everything you heard before was probably a warm-up. I got thousands of songs we can do. I could be here till 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. Don't give a fuck. Just like, you know, like crazy. So that real hip-hop is over.
Yo, what up, people? This is EJ coming to you from HipHop Heads. Newly started channel. I'm really excited to do this. It's my first album review that I'm going to be doing. And it's Logic Under Pressure.
Work so fucking much, my greatest fear is I'ma die alone. Every diamond in my chain, yeah, that's a milestone.
This thing came out yesterday, the 21st. I'm recording this on Wednesday. And when I copped this thing right after school, it was like $10.50. Really decently priced. This is the first hardcover album that I have, like hard. I really want to start collecting albums on hardcover. I'm not gonna do vinyl now because I don't have a vinyl player. But I guess I'll start with CDs. But yeah, I'm really excited to do this album review. This is the first time you're listening to the album. I'm coming in dry, no condom. This is the first time I haven't heard anything. I've heard 2 singles from it. I heard Now, and then I heard Under Pressure, obviously, because that thing was everywhere. And I didn't like the video, man. It was like a Call of Duty or something like that. I don't know if it was just paying homage to Bays or whatever. It's beside the point. But yeah, this is the way I'm going to be structuring the album review. So I'm going to be listening to it. This is the first time me listening to it. I'm listening to it. Halfway through the album, I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts on it real quick, like 20-30 seconds, say, oh yeah, I'm really feeling it or not. And then I'm going to finish the album, and then I'm going to give you guys a first impressions rating of how I feel. And then I'm going to sit with the album for about 2 days, something like that. And then I'm going to come back, give you guys a full in-depth review. Don't expect me to review like each kick and drum of songs. I'm not going to do that. I'm here to just give you guys my thoughts, hopefully my educated opinion. I really like hip hop, and I really like Logic too, man. I've listened to all his previous work: Young, Broken, Infamous, Undeniable, Young Sinatra, Welcome to Forever. Undeniable, my favorite so far. And yeah, I have high expectations for this album. It's his first debut album, and I really hope this thing just surprises me. He said it was a concept album, so I'm really hoping for something really good. This dude took like a year to make this, so I think it's gonna be quality. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the review, man. I hope the intro wasn't too long. But yeah, oh man, I already have so much to say. I just finished 8, Never Enough. Oh my, Logic, you done did some shit. I'm gonna go finish this shit. I'll be right back.
Don't know why I feel the pain. Sometimes I was disgusting. If I
I fucking really like this album.
First impression.
9. What up, guys? I'm recording this after I already did the review, and there's a problem. So the problem was I'm editing it right now. Actually, I'm not done editing the review. And while some of the footage was rendering, I figured I'd go online. You know, I'm done the review, and I check out one of the online reviews on Under Pressure. And this is where I'm gonna have to trust that you guys believe me. I have not watched any other reviews on this album. I haven't watched any other reviews on this album at all. The most thing I've watched is a bunch of interviews he did with Sway and Hot 97 and stuff. I haven't watched any of the reviews. at all. I refrain from watching any of them at all. I follow a lot of people who do the album reviews, and I know people are gonna think that I'm taking things from other people because I'm newly started. I have not watched any other reviews. So the point being, I was going to check a review, and it was the Needle Drop, and a lot of the things that he said, I said in my review as well. A lot of the comparisons about Good Kid, Mad City, and a lot of the Kendrick Lamar references was very similar, and I actually thought this was really funny that we found that very similar. But I hadn't watched that review. This is the first time, and I'm already done recording the review. So if you guys had already seen that review, don't think I watched that and basically just recycled the same material. There'd be no point in me doing the review like that. So yeah, I wanted to put this in right before I actually show you guys the review so you understand. So I don't want you guys in the comments saying, hey, he just took the stuff from the Needle Drop and blah, 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 blah. No. This just happened to be a coincidence. We both, I mean, it's not a coincidence actually. I mean, we both like music and hip hop. So, opinions are probably going to be the same, especially people who really study the music. I really do study music. So I guess great minds think alike. Look, I'll even show you guys, because I know some of you fucks aren't going to believe me. Look, I'll turn on the light. Look, it's already dark outside. How about that shit? And I got the same shit you guys are going to see on the video. Look, same sweater. The only thing changed is the shorts because the shit's comfortable. So, yeah. Enjoy the review. Believe me. What up, guys? It's 3 days later, and I sat with the album for a while. I'm ready to give you guys a review. So the first thing I want to get into before I even get into the album is No ID executively producing the album. So from what I understand, he didn't actually produce any of the album, but he more facilitated the album basically in its production, its creation. And from what I understand, he also mentored Logic as far as how to do the album and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I thought that was interesting that No ID was executively producing the album. And for those who don't know who No ID is, he's a legend in the game at this point as far as producing. He did a lot of work for Common and stuff, so definitely really good to have that as a co-sign. So the theme on the album. So in contrast to all these other mixtapes, this one really was revolved around a certain theme, and that was basically Logic telling a story. On his mixtapes, it was just basically him bragging, like, I got the dopest lines, I'm gonna make it to the top and stuff like that. But this one was really focused on his story, and I thought that was pretty consistent throughout the album. That was definitely good, because before on the mixtapes, he'd really just put songs together that sonically sound similar. The mixtape itself didn't really have a theme, so he definitely did a good job on that as far as the theme in his debut album. So yeah, that was very well done. The mood, I love the mood on this album. Definitely the production on the album helped create the mood. It was different production than what he's done before, what Logic fans are used to listening to. Yeah, I think it was perfect as far as this album goes. And telling the story, it just worked really well. It definitely created a vibe, and I noticed throughout the album, basically, if this was like a spectrum of the vibe, he never veered off too far from that, and that was really good. Even on songs like Bounce, although it was very trap and stuff like that, or not trap, but I'd say like very like wild and ignorant shit. It didn't go too far off from the main vibe of the whole album, so that was definitely done really well. I like that. The length of the album, it was 15 songs on the deluxe. Obviously, anyone who bought the hard copy got the deluxe. Each song was like 4 minutes, except for Under Pressure, which was 9.
so that was definitely good length. The album wasn't too long. Definitely kept my interest throughout the whole thing. So now we're about to get into the juice of shit, and that's the songs. I'm gonna say something, and I know this might not make sense to some of you, or you guys might just don't go up in arms when I say this shit. I'm not comparing the two as far as like my ratings. I'm just saying as far as the sound and the vibe that I got off of it. This album felt a lot like Good Kid, Mad City, and I'll explain that as I go through each song. It'll make sense. It won't make sense now. Maybe some of you got that, but definitely I got a Good Kid, Mad City vibe on certain songs. So yeah, let's get into the songs. The beginning of the album, I love the beginning of the album. That was definitely done very well. It definitely set the mood of the album. The intro was, I guess, it was a very happy intro. It had him singing, which was, I mean, it wasn't horrible. I mean, it was Logic singing. I thought it was Soul Food. That's the second track. It didn't really have a concept. It was more like just him talking about his story, just generally. But the beat switch up though on that song. Man, that second beat was. I really like that second beat. That was definitely done very well. And a line that definitely caught my attention was "Flow hotter than Lucifer, even though heaven sent him." I heard that shit and I was like, damn, that was nice. I'm Gone. That's one of my favorites on the album. I'm Gone. And it wasn't so much the lyricism on the song. It was more the production and the flow on the song for sure. First verse, he's talking about his music and how he puts the time into it, and how we're gonna remember it once he's gone and stuff like that. And then he had like times where he was singing and changing his voice. He did that throughout the album a lot, but I thought he did it pretty well. It wasn't annoying or anything like that. And then the second verse, he was talking about his girl and stuff like that. So I definitely liked I'm Gone. The production by I think it was Homie 6. I like the production on that. That was very well done. Gang Related. That is one of my favorite songs as well. Gang Related. I really liked Gang Related. Just the way he told the story about basically he took the role of one of his brothers, and for those who know Logic's story and stuff like that, if you watch any of these interviews, he talks about how his brother so cracked to his dad and stuff like that, and so he basically took on that role and talked about, it wasn't like, oh yeah, you know, I so crack, I'm hard as shit. No, it was talking about like the, you know, basically the real part of it. This is, you know, I gotta feed kids and, you know, I gotta worry about who's. Sorry, I had to put a hood on. It's too fucking cold, man. Yeah, I was talking about the real part of it, which is, you know, you gotta feed your kids and stuff, and he's gotta worry about, you know, if people are gonna come and attack him at night, and, you know, hoping that his brother doesn't follow in his footsteps. That was definitely really good. The flow on that was insane. Especially the end part. He's spitting as if it was like a gun. That was insane. And the Mad Crew sample from KRS's Mad Crew, I thought that was really cool. Buried Alive. This song, and this is where I'm talking about, it felt like Good Kid, Mad City. This song felt very much like Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. Just with the voice manipulation. I know he got that from OutKast, but Kendrick does that a lot as well. And that's just I guess the most relevant point of reference. So I definitely thought that sounded like that song, but it was still a good song. Bounce was more of a familiar Logic sound. It was very like wild, braggadocious type shit that he does very well, and it didn't veer off too far from the vibe of the album. It didn't just go crazy. Definitely, I still like that song. It wasn't one of my favorites, but it was still a good song. It felt like a Backstreet freestyle, kind of like his own version to it. I'm not, because definitely the sound's a lot different, but yeah, I'm saying it's more like his version of it on the album. I don't want to, I hate to compare the two a lot, but that's the first thing that stuck in my mind is just the comparisons of the two. Growing Pains 3, I like the song as well. It was talking about just the struggle of him growing up and seeing his parents, his dad doing crack and stuff like that. That was definitely well. Very dark song. Again, didn't go too far down on the vibe, but definitely a good song. I love when, I think it's towards the end, where he says, I turn off the TV, then I realize I'm back in hell, and then like the voice just drops. It goes super deep, and that was definitely really cool. I love the saxophone on that thing at the end of the song. That was definitely well. Never enough. I really like the production on this song. This was, and if you saw earlier, after I heard that song, I was bugging out, man. Again, it wasn't super crazy lyricism, but definitely the sound was really, really good. I really like the production on it. It was by DJ Dahi. That was good. That was a good production on the song. It was like a happy type, braggadocious. It wasn't like Bounce where he was like, yeah, bitch on my dick type shit, but it was still a good song. It reminded me of Hold Up by Kendrick Lamar off his Section 80 album. That kind of reminded me of that. Metropolis. So as soon as I heard this, I knew where the sample was. It was from the Kendrick Lamar Sing About Me. As soon as I heard it, I thought my iPod fucked up and it was playing that, and I was like, what the fuck? But then I heard it spin, and I was like, okay. And I thought he did that pretty well. Again, that's where that Good Kid, Mad City type vibe that I'm talking about, that's where I get that from. The fast flow on that was definitely really good. Logic does that fast flow really good. Kind of like if you were like flying on a plane, like it gave me that type of vibe. Fuck, it's cold. Girl talking at the end, that was cool, I guess. Like a funny bit, I guess. Quick comment, Logic he seemed to be singing a lot on this album, man. And I guess that's where that Kid Cudi influence comes from. But he was, and it wasn't bad. It was just, he was singing a lot on this album. I don't know, man. Nicki. So I heard him referencing Nicki, and I was like, man, don't bite the style of Good Kid, Mad City. Because that's when I heard that, I was like, man, Good Kid, Mad City, that was definitely where it pressed in my mind. And I thought, man, why are you like taking that idea of talking about a girl, right? But then I heard the song, right? And I was like, oh, that makes sense. He was talking about nicotine. And I knew where that was coming from because I watched one of his interviews with Hot 97. It was on Real Late with Rosenberg. And he was talking about he doesn't drink or smoke and stuff like that, but his one vice was cigarettes. And that's where that song came from. I thought it was interesting that he'd take a whole song to talk about that, because not many people really do that. But I thought he told the story perfectly, as if it was a girl. If I didn't know better, if he didn't say nicotine at the end of the song, you would think he was talking about a girl, and that was done perfectly. And he mentioned, like, I knew a girl named Mary. He was talking about like Mary J, marijuana. That was definitely well done. Under Pressure, the album title track, definitely, obviously it was like 9 minutes. But I like how he did the different beat switch ups. He did the switch ups 3 times. Definitely good song. I really like that song. And it was produced by Logic. I was surprised. He actually does a lot of the production. Or not, I wouldn't say a lot, but he does a fair amount of his own production. And I was really surprised that he was able to pull that off. So that was good job, Logic. That was good production on that song. And then it ends off, I guess, on the regular version until the end. And again, one of my favorite songs on the album. It was definitely a happy way to end. The flow on there was sick. I definitely really like the flow on it. Produced by the same people that made Bounce. Definitely good production on there as well. I'm not gonna pronounce the full name. It's too long. But shout outs to them. The bonus tracks, I could have done without them. I guess that's why they were bonus tracks. They weren't bad. It was just, it definitely made sense why I put it in the bonus, because it didn't work with I guess the theme of the album. The only one that would have worked as far as sonically would have been Driving Miss Daisy, and maybe Alright. And I saw the feature with Big Sean and I got real fucking concerned. I was like, what are you doing? But then I heard it actually wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad for Big Sean. Not disappointed with that. Yeah, that's, as far as the songs go, that's about it, man. I like the songs, I like the structure. It wasn't how he used to, where he just put songs together that sounded the same. It was definitely pretty well spread out. I like that a lot. I like the little Midnight Marauders type thing that he was doing at the end of the songs with Aaliyah, where he's explaining the album. Obviously Midnight Marauders from A Tribe Called Quest. Was definitely where his influences come out. Definitely wears his influences on his sleeve. That was good. I like that. The only complaint that I have with the album was that it sounded like Good Kid, Mad City on certain songs. That was very evident for me. And it wasn't bad because that's a great album. But I felt like just certain times I thought he was trying to take bits and pieces of the idea. And maybe it wasn't him taking from Good Kid, Mad City, but you know, Kendrick Lamar and Logic both taking from the same influences, which would make sense. But that's the only real complaint that I would have on the album. The album was definitely well done. His best so far. I know I gave it a 9 out of 10 first impression. And you guys have to understand, the first impression I might give a super low or super high rating on there. It's probably not going to be super accurate. Super. Yeah, after listening to it, I'd give it an 8, which is good. It's one of the best albums I've heard this year. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I definitely really like this album. His best album so far. Good concept, good theme, good vibe, good length. Just a really solid project, and definitely I like the production on this thing. It was different, but it was good. And I think you should sort of incorporate the sort of production and sound going on into his other albums. Definitely use that sort of sound. It was good. It works well with his voice and his flow and stuff. Yeah, that's it. I will be giving you guys an album review on Run the Jewels 2, which is coming out, I think, next week. So watch out for that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the album. Peace. I don't want to say this.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know.
Just braggadocious type shit.
Don't just flip them off. Fuck off, Transit.
Obviously, Backstreet Freestyle. Backstreet Freestyle.